register key issues, listen up, come here real close. Take a look at this. Do you see this? That's one of your register keys. Where I'm holding the register key and I operate this key, that should allow this one to go up and down. This is a real common problem on saxophones, especially if they've been dropped or if the neck has been put on incorrectly. A lot of time what happens is this bar right here gets bent. A lot of times they break off. A lot of times technicians will just try to grab this and straighten it out. But if they do that, what happens right here is it bends this tube. It's a hollow tube. And so that's going to cause it to bind up and not work correctly. Let me show you how to fix this. First, you want to pay attention to how your assembly is put together. We're going to pull this rod out. This key has 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces to it. You want to pay attention to the orientation and which one goes on top and which one goes on bottom so you can put this back together correctly. You want to make sure you have the proper screwdriver to take this rod out. Now this is going to be tough to turn because it's binding, probably because it's bent, or it might just be dirty. Sometimes you can get away with just cleaning all of these parts out and all your problems will be solved. You're going to need a good set of parallel pliers. You want to pay attention to which direction that screw slot is on the top. You want to grab across it, not up and down. If you grab up and down, you're going to collapse where that's the slot where the screwdriver goes, and then that's a whole nother problem. Now this one we know is very difficult to pull, so that most likely tells us that there's a problem with the tube. It's more than just dirt. So we're going to carefully take these pieces out. They should all come out together. All right, you can see that the rod went through this bottom section here, and these have little Teflon inserts for where these are connected. So we're going to remove those two. We got our top, our bottom, and then we have our key, which is allowed to swivel this way. Now that should move freely. If that doesn't, you want to first try cleaning this. To clean this, I'm going to use a little bit of denatured alcohol and a Q-tip. First, I'm going to pull this off. And then I want to clean all of that dirt and debris. You can see it's got some green funk on there. I want to clean all of that off. Then I'm going to use a pipe cleaner. Again with the denatured alcohol. I'm going to run that through this piece to get all of that grease, dirt, debris out of there as well. Blow it dry. And now we can see that moves freely like it's supposed to. Next, a little more alcohol of the denatured type. I'm going to clean out these other tubes for the other key parts. You can see how dirty those were. For this next part, we're going to clean the rod off first. And you can see how much dirt and debris is on this. And then we've got a little rust in the threads as well. For this part, we're going to use a cloth, that denatured alcohol, and I'm going to first start just by cleaning it off, wiping it down, Get into the threads real good. And then I'm going to test the pieces one at a time to make sure this rod goes through freely. There's the first one, no issues. Here's the second one, no issues. Here's the third one with that stem that everyone always bends. It won't go through. So now that we know that this tube is the problem, here's how we're going to fix it. We're going to push that rod through. And we can now see that these are not parallel. This guy just kind of goes off this way. So if you're out there on a gig and you need to fix this, what you want to do is you want to carefully hold the tube and try to straighten this part of the rod out. So this piece right here, you want to bring that up so that these are parallel. Look at that. It already starts to move. So I'm going to move it just a little bit more. I'm being careful not to bend the rod. I'm holding here. I'm just flexing it just ever so slightly. And now we've got a free spinning part. Time to put it back together.